But my name is Kimmy McBurney with Allied Home Inspection. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this workshop. So it's a little bit different. You guys usually see us do the lunch and learns, the panels, which were a little fast paced. We got a lot of information, but today I really kind of want to slow it down, and we have a goal to teach 3 actionable items, right? Usually I teach on social media in general, which is lovely, but I think if you're here, we all have acknowledged that social media is important, correct? Yes. I recognize a lot of your faces, so that means a lot of you are already utilizing social media. So this is really going to teach us how to 10x how we can reach who we're trying to reach and really exponentially perform on our social medias. So welcome. So yes, this morning I was trying to garner some inspiration, and I was looking up some quotes, some that I loved. We don't have a choice whether we do social media. The question is how we do it. I teach this a lot to agents, you guys especially, unless you are the rare gem who has no social media anywhere. You may be the exception to the rule, but I'm going to assume everybody has a Facebook. I even teach to some agents, and they're like, ooh, I've got a Facebook, but it's old. I was like, that's even worse. I wouldn't say that to them, but I know that's none of you guys, right? If we have a social media presence, we've got to make sure it's valid, it's accurate, it's up to date, right? So we're all doing it. We all exist on the internet. So let's control the narrative and control our brand and control what people experience about us and use it to our advantage because it's powerful and it's technically free. So I like this one. Content is fire. Social media is the gasoline. So today specifically, we're talking about the gasoline, right? You guys are all doing the social media, you're doing the content, but what are some tools we can use to capture those leads, 10x those home tours, and then run some paid ads if that's what you choose to do. So let's pour some gasoline on that fire. What do you say? So real quick, I gotta do the commercial, we gotta get out of the way. We are Allied Home Inspection. Social media is my passion, but home inspection is how we pay the bills, you know? We gotta do what you gotta do. 2 announcements I wanna make. We are now doing radon mitigation and septic pumping. So exciting, right? Things I never thought I'd say. So really just wanna update you guys. This is our wonderful team. Over on the left, Justine and Dash, if you ever give us a call, that's who you're talking to. So would appreciate your business on the home inspection front or radon mitigation. And then I want to take a second to thank our wonderful sponsors. College Hunks are around. They're going to give us some brain breaks today. Yes, College Hunks. We love them. So they're going to do some brain breaks, so we'll hear from them later. Closing Simplified. Courtney over here, your wonderful TC firm. Did Julia make it? I don't think I saw Julia yet. Julia Hicks with Dynamic is actually a VA, virtual assistant matchmaking. So if any of you have been thinking about virtual assistants, talk to Julia. That's actually how I met Dash on the previous slide. Vesta Property Management, Rodrigo was walking around. Great property management firm for your clients. They do pay agent referrals if the seller gives them permission. And they'll do free rental estimates. So if you have a property you want to know the market rate for rentals, ask Vesta. And then my newest brand, Carolina Radon. Happy to help you guys with your radon needs. All right, commercial ended. So agenda, so quickly to kind of set some expectations. First, who's here in the chatter about mortgage rates possibly going down? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to misspeak to that. We'll allow Cody and Rachel to actually tell us what's going on, give us the market update, also give us a snapshot of social media and their lives. Then we're going to do a brain break with College Hunks. Then Ashley is going to kick us off with kind of 10xing our property home tours, really showing you guys how to market your property as well. And then I will be teaching the email lead capture, right? That's what we need to be doing. Social media is all for naught if we are not converting the clients and getting their emails and building our database. Another brain break. And then last but not least, Dave with Asheville Video Marketing is going to show us how to DIY those paid ads and really use that to our benefit. So, without further ado, the wonderful Cody Fox and Rachel Helton of Atlantic Bay Mortgage. Give them a hand.
The microphone makes it so much more daunting. Okay, so how many of you heard the Fed cut rates a quarter point yesterday? How many of you guys read that brought mortgage rates down? Yeah. So it didn't, unfortunately. The markets are always going to price in a Fed rate cut as soon as they have an indication that that's going to happen. So we've known that that was coming for a few months now. We actually did get an indication that we might see 2 more rate cuts this year. And because of that, we saw a very short rally with the bond market. We saw mortgage rates start to go down as soon as the Federal Reserve released what was called their dot plot. But then our friend Jerome Powell started speaking. So there are just a lot of economic variables right now. We're just receiving these huge revisions to jobs reports. We need to see how that's going to shake out. We also need to see how the sticky inflation is going to check out, right? The Federal Reserve has had a goal of 2% for quite some time. We haven't come close to hitting it. We're stuck around, 3.3 right now. So as we heard him speak, we saw the 10-year Treasury go up. And if you follow the 10-year Treasury, that's what mortgage rates are going to most closely follow. So it wasn't a disaster yesterday. We just saw mortgage rates slightly come off the lows that we have seen. So we really just need to go back to sticking to the economic data, seeing what this jobs data is going to show us, and see where inflation is going to go. So all in all, we're seeing rates at multi-year lows, conventional loans in the high 5s, government loans in the mid 5s, which is amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a lot more buyer activity. People are getting off the fence, which is going to do what? Drive up the want for housing, and hopefully stabilize some of these prices. So if you don't follow Cody and I on social media, we're both 2 big finance nerds. We'll give you all the information that you need, and reach out to us directly if you have questions. But all good news for the most part.
She had the, she deserves an applause for that. She has the objective stuff. I get the fun stuff. Who follows us on social media? Okay, the people without your hands up, you are missing out. So go ahead and fix that. Really easy. Cody Fox Mortgage, Rachel Helton Mortgage. You are going to see 2 sort of different approaches to social media. I enjoy making it a little bit more chaotic and fun. And we've got very polished here with some fun in there too when we do reels together. Yeah, throw under the bus. I got into social media 2020. We were all sitting around twiddling our thumbs, and video was how we were connecting with our clients at that point. If you go back through, and please feel free to make yourself feel better when you start doing your reels, to look at how horrible my reels were at the beginning of 2020. It took a long time, and there's still some out there that get like 100 views, whatever. But that's 100 people that see your face. So just going over some tips, and I know we'll go into a lot more detail with you guys too, but consistency over perfection. They don't want to, does not have to be, if you mess up, post it. It's fine. That is you. So just keep that in mind. You are selling your face. You're not selling some sheetrock. You kind of are when you're doing houses, but the face is the brand, not the sheetrock. Keep it short. Up to 30 seconds after, when you're scrolling through Reels, do you sit there and pay attention to an entire 60-second video? So keep it under 3 to 7 seconds, honestly, if you can. 30 seconds max. Look at what's trending too. When you are posting your video, you can go in and there's actually a tab on Instagram that you can click on trending, and it'll show all the things that are trending. And you don't even have to have it where you can hear it in the background. You can turn that all the way to 0 if you want, just to help with the algorithm. All of you, how many, let's say you've been doing social media for at least, we're not going to call you out, a week? At least a week. Okay, I like this. All right. At least a month? At least a year. Okay. So you want support, and these are the people that are going to support you with those likes. A simple double tap is going to help the algorithm. If every single one of you liked every single thing that y'all post, then that's going to shoot it up. and it will get more views from everybody else. So everybody started at a certain point. So just keep up the support with everybody. And that's pretty much what I was going to say. Leave it to me to make it awkward. Being authentic. I know I just said that, but be yourself. That is who people want to work with, and that's what's going to set you apart. But give us a follow if you've not. Thank you guys for the people that I'm seeing following me. And if y'all need anything, well, our information is on social. So thank you.
Grab both your mics. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Sorry, showbiz transition moment, guys. Bear with us. We're doing it for the gram, you know? Well, thank you, Cody and Rachel. And so when I did say mortgage rates, I also, from social media, did glean that the rates did not go down. If anything, they maybe eked up. But that's why I love following mortgage professionals, so that I don't misspeak and spew false information, right? Let's go straight to the source. Cody and Rachel are fantastic and entertaining, so definitely give them a follow. And really, I would encourage you to follow all of us who are presenting today, not just because we're vain and we like likes, but truly it's a learning experience, right? We're growing our own personal social media brands, and especially Ashley and Dave, they are professionals and they're constantly sharing free tips and advice on how to do things. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into the meat and bones of this thing. First, I wanna welcome up Ashley. So Ashley, actually, she used to work for us long ago. She was our marketing person and did such a fantastic job. I was like, you gotta go do this for yourself, which she was already doing. So she has now gone out to create her own brand, Social Statement. So this is what she does. She helps agents grow their brand, do their social media. But also, like I said, she shares tons of free tips and tricks on her profile. And so today I invited her to share how to really 10x your property tours and how you're showcasing your properties, because at the end of the day, if you guys aren't doing that at minimum, you are not serving your clients in a marketing capacity, right? So without further ado, Ashley Schultz, Social Statement.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Can be very honest, the biggest crowd I've spoken to ever. So hi. I know a lot of people in this room, so that's helpful. I can stare at people. Full circle moment. When I actually started working with Kimmy, this was one of the first kind of events we did, and I was like, oh my gosh, Kimmy, she's amazing. How is she doing all this stuff? And then slowly, almost 2 years later, it's like, oh, full circle moment. Here we are. Here I am. Okay. Yes, I do social media management for for the real estate industry. So lenders, Rachel Helton, I am her social media manager, but a whole bunch of real estate agents. And what we do is we really, really want to partner with real estate agents to make sure that you're showing whatever you want on your social media instead of it being just run-of-the-mill posts here or there from Canva. So a little bit about that. So yes. I've been in, we're gonna skip that. I added that last minute. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen there, so. it's loud, we're not gonna do that. I was like, let me show them all these videos, they're so cool. But no, I'm gonna go over really quickly. I've got about 2 slides, and I also gave you all a sheet to look at, so it's kind of got a little bit more in depth of what are gonna be on this slides. Video is no longer an option, it has to be. MLS did a report, and I believe it was 67% on the button. Like if you look at the buttons on MLS, it was, 76% has increased on the video button that people go and see now. So it's kind of like, you have to be able to put that link in there because they are going to there more than ever now. I didn't think about this with a microphone, but it's gonna be a little challenging to do this. It's okay, no, you're fine. So who has one of these? Okay. Who uses it like daily, weekly, every day? No? Okay. So funny thing, I bought this in 2019. It sat on my desk because I was one of those tech people that likes to buy it but doesn't use it for years. And it sat on my desk while I was working my normal jobs. I'm like, what am I gonna use this for? And I'm so thankful I bought this. You can get these at Best Buy if you don't have one, or Amazon. this is going to change the game when it comes to your walkthroughs. I have marketed over $350 million in real estate over the past 6 years, I would say. And when I wasn't using this, it was a mess, hot mess. I was trying to do my thing, but it was just not working. So we started using this, and it might sound really basic, but it's definitely a necessity. What's it called? So it's a, she's like, yeah, thank you for the questions. My voice is shaking. It's a DJI gimbal. So they have all kinds of different ones. I always recommend DJI for everything. They're just the best in all things gimbal related. And what that's going to do is it's going to stabilize your phone when you're walking through the house. So very basic. I mean, and it goes back and forth. So how am I doing, Kimmy? You want to model this for me? Sure. It's just like. Do you have your phone? I can phone. Yeah, you can put my phone now. So I did not think about we should have like another mic in here.
Wonderful.
Oh. Okay, there you go. And for those who have used this, it's going to be super, super smooth and easy for y'all to understand. But what I want to say is that I've shot, it's not on. Yeah, then. Whoop.
Yeah, fancy.
Okay.
So it's gonna hold your phone for you.
Yeah. So whenever I show up to a mobile walkthrough, I get paid weekly to do these videos for real estate agents, from top producers to brand new real estate agents, because we know that video is not, obviously is you have to be doing videos. So, we've done anything, but the thing is, some people don't have the finances to hire a videographer right now. They have to do the best with what they do. If you saw my videos with Kimmy, it's gonna be a game changer when it comes to how you use that. So, I have videos and videos about how that works, but it's gonna change the game. So, when we come into camera settings, I have a video on the last slide that you're definitely gonna want to watch. When I learned about the speed at which you're filming things, it's another game changer. Whenever we do things called just the regular reels with the walkthroughs, but then we also do really cinematic videos using our iPhone. I put a little slow-mo action button right there. It's also on that green paper. If y'all are wanting to get that cinematic, really juicy looking video, you can put on MLS and they question, oh my gosh, is this a hired photographer or her? You're gonna wanna use these little tips on that little slow-mo reel. When it comes to lighting, every question I get when I have a new agent that works with me that doesn't trust me yet, yes, people don't trust me. They're like, what's the best time of the day? And I'm like, well, for me, I can shoot at any time because I know how to edit. But if it's you and you're like, what should I do? Noon is always best. You want the light as high in the sky as possible, so make sure that your lighting is great. Also, inside the house, especially if it's a darkly lit house, you want to make sure that you're using the best light possible. Open those windows, get the toilet seat down, please, so I don't have to see that. Don't get in the mirror. And I'm not going to show you how that works, but if we want to make a funny video later, we can do that. There's just so many different things, but the thing is, guys, if y'all don't get out there and practice, make it a part of your, kind of like your SOP when you list a house. And if you're like, I'm not going to hire a videographer for this one because I don't feel like it needs it, go out and do it still and just practice runs. I've been doing photography for 10 years, and I've been doing this for 6 years, and it's like, I can show you, just like Cody said, one of my videos from the very beginning, it was trash. So, okay, so we're gonna go into a little bit of audio. This is extras that I added in here. Don't get overwhelmed. If y'all are already overwhelmed with oh my gosh, I have to do a video, and I have to make a social post, and I have to get on MLS, and I have to do all the things, keep it super simple. I'm really loving, I don't think she's in this room right now, from Ness, yeah, she does a really great job by keeping it simple. She'll video the first part of the house and just put, this is what you can get in Asheville, North Carolina for a set price. Super simple, just film something. Just make sure you're getting out there on video. With audio and video, your voiceovers and things like that, it can become challenging. She's like, how do I put all this together? How do I do this? And I don't know how to. Don't if you don't know how to do it. If you do need help, find someone like me that can sit down with an hour with you and say, here's how you're going to do this, and give you actionable steps. Because done is better than not Editing workflow. Who has CapCut in this room? So if you do not have CapCut, you all should open your app on your Apple phone or I got insulted by an agent that I don't use an iPhone. Okay, well, whatever you get your apps from, pull it up and make sure you download that. That is going to be so much fun to use, but then also there's so many cool things they've added recently that make your life so much easier, such as, what is it called? It's called like auto cut, which it cuts your videos for you, adds music, and does it all for you. So that saves me my business, and I'm managing 16 real estate agents right now. So the other apps, am I good on time? Other apps, obviously Instagram and then Google Drive. I didn't use Google Drive when I first started just because I was like, oh, everything will be stored on my phone. No, it doesn't work that way. And so religiously now when I'm filming someone's home and obviously, because you never know, you could drop your phone in water, you could drop it down the toilet, who knows. Basically putting all of that footage, create a folder for yourself and put in there, 123 Main Street and drop all of those photos in there. That way you have it. And also with things sitting on the market longer, you're gonna need to be able to pull from that. And on accident, we like to go through and save space and delete stuff. So make sure you do that. So who understands like vertical versus horizontal orientation? I'm like laughing at Tatiana. She's like, yes, Ashley. Thank you, ma'am. You can tell I'm You're good. Hot mess express up here. It's okay. So anybody that does social media on a high level is going to understand the orientation. There's nothing worse for me seeing a video on someone's Instagram and it's a little square box, like yay big. And I'm like, is that a house in there? I can't see it. And you can't see the details. And it's so funny. I had posted one that was sideways and I had another agent actually confront one of my agents and go, why is that like that? Did she make a mistake? And I was like, made her look. It did. It made her look. She watched that video. So anyways, when you're posting to Reels, just make sure, even if it is a really nice, horizontal video, make sure you're shifting it because all they have to do is shift their phone over. A lot of times we do that whole flip your phone in CapCut that y'all should be downloading. We did the little flip the phone so that way they know, okay, we're gonna go ahead and flip now and see that. So, but that was a real story from this week. It was not fun. Because then it makes me question. I'm like, but she watched it. She did. So I'm trying to think of anything else. Tools. We got through the gimbal. We obviously know our phone. Who has one of these? 1, 2. Keep your hands up. What is it? It's a microphone. It's like, yeah. So essentially, you don't have to have one of these. You don't. But Rachel can tell you, I was rocking like a little Amazon $12 mic when we first started working together. And I was like, I never think about that. I should probably invest in some microphones. So I got this from Best Buy, best thing ever, because it's just going to elevate your audio. Because the first thing someone's going to see is they're going to see you, and then they're going to hear your audio. So like I said, Best Buy, $120. It's really great. You have multiples in here depending on which one you get. But why we need audio, guys, is because with you competing with so many real estate agents, whatever you can do to set yourself apart is going to be necessity. And some real estate agents don't think audio is important, and that hearing you in the middle of a bush, that's not cool, and that's not great, and that's gonna not help your house sell either. And then I'll let y'all kind of scan these if you want real quick, check them out. So when I started looking at real estate walkthrough videos at a high performing level, the video on the far, right, my right, your left, was the actual video I watched. I watched this probably 13 times and just really soaked in how he was doing it, what he was doing. Because believe it or not, I wanted to keep media affordable for my clients. And sometimes, real estate agents can't go out and film with a videographer. While I think that's super important, they just can't. Some of them are brand new, or some of them just I haven't had a sale in 6 months, and I can't do that. And so these are the tools that I use to learn to not only just do it for myself and my clients, but also to teach people how to do it on your own, because sometimes it's rough out there for real estate agents. Instagram's in the middle, and then YouTube. So I know I wasn't that great on stage, but you can see all of my videos that I have done. Recently we did a $4 million lake property down in Lake Lure, and that was a very awesome highlight video that I love doing. But with all that being said, does anybody have any questions? You can make, go ahead.
You know that whatever it's called, DJ thing?
Uh-huh.
Can you use it on Android?
Yep, yep.
I was trying to use it to just download the app for that.
Yeah. So I actually don't use the app. I don't use the app. If you, when I first started using it, I found it more challenging than helpful. So what I do is I just flip it on and don't connect the Bluetooth, like turn your Bluetooth off, and it will work just the same. Just all I have to do is hit, I don't get to use every single button on the DJI, but you'll see me like, I'll film like this and I go like this and just stop and start on the camera, because I just found it more challenging to have to find the button to hit. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you for enjoying my story.
Well, all right, before we let her go, yes, thank you. I have found, well, I'm going to have you hang out for a second, just because we've got some time and I really want to dive into these concepts. So I pulled up Maddie. So again, we're going to walk through these just really quick. So again, just to point out what Ashley was mentioning, like she's just taking panning shots of the home. This is a just sold. This is a principle I love teaching to agents. Please, for the love of all things holy, do not post a still photo of your just sold. Or you can allow it if it's a carousel, but then we're also going to do an accompanying reel. So again, watch. So, I do think Maddie probably uses a gimbal, but just kind of showing to put these things together. And I might bet that she probably did this in CapCut, because CapCut, you can literally search home tour in CapCut and it'll show you ways to put these together. So again, here's one. This is what she was saying. Modern mountain home, less than $450K in Asheville, North Carolina. These are also great because a lot of you might be sitting out there and saying, well, I don't have a listing. I want a listing. But if you're previewing properties, obviously you need to ask permission from the listing agent. But 1,000%, you should be putting a lot of these out here. I know some agents who get complimented, like, you're so busy, you're doing so well. Half of the listings, if not more, are not theirs, right? But if you're out there and you have that social proof that you're a realtor, you're out and about showcasing like this. So any comment and listing for more info, probably to get a lead capture. We're gonna learn about that in a minute. But yeah, so like again, just trying to showcasing anything you wanted to point out from yours. Again, this is Ashley's profile. So she is just constantly bringing value. She's got here, I was perusing this the other day, 100 real ideas for agents. So really anything you need. And this is where, is this one? This was the real, yeah. Oh, gotta go sideways. And again, I agree. I would rather this, and I actually think I'm more engaged when the video goes sideways to watch it. But any last questions now that you kind of thought some of those examples, or do we feel like we're all just gonna rock some property tours?
Because I will find you and I will watch you. And
Ashley will find you and like you. Or if you do a great job, she's gonna reshare it for you and get you some more exposure. But thank you, Ashley. One more round of applause for Ashley. Thank you.
I'm honored.
Yeah. Because again, so my point, so the reason I really wanted to showcase Ash, sorry, it's going to do this weird playing thing. Hold on. Stop.
Yeah, don't do that.
Stop. We could watch your videos. I can mute it while I'm talking. Let's watch your cool property video. Oh. Nope. All right. I'm not that tech savvy. We will move on from there. Sorry. Hold on. Canva does this weird thing where it just likes to start playing it. I don't want to play it. I just want to do a presentation. Okay, bear with me. I promise I'm better at social media than I am at presenting on a slideshow. First brain break. We're going to shake it out a little bit. We're going to welcome Anne, one of the wonderful owners of College Hunks Moving and Junk Removal. She's going to treat us to a brain break. So excited. Anne.
Thank you, Kimmy. All right, let's.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
This thing. This is so good. Do I not hold this?
You can do both. That's for the video.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, y'all. I'm Ann with College Hunks, hauling, junk, and moving. We're a locally owned and operated moving and junk removal company here in Asheville. We are part of a franchise. We're excited to be here today. First of all, raise a hand if you can relate to even the thought of moving. That brings out a little stress or anxiety, and the reality of actually doing the moving. I am right there with you. It is very stressful. Our goal with College Hunks, Hauling, Junk, and Moving is to decrease that stress. We want to set your service up for success, be with you all along the way, and to reduce as much stress as possible. I totally understand that. So let's start off with the first word in our brand, college. The reason that college is in our name is because one of our co-founders, Omar, was at this university. So trivia questions today. We're going to go super quick. And I have prizes. I have coffee. I know all you realtors like coffee. So it's the honesty policy. Just write that down on your sheet of paper. At the end, see us at the table. You'll get your prize. So first question, what university is represented by the orange and green of the colors of College Hunks, Hauling, Junk, and Moving? Is it A, University of Florida, B, University of Miami, C, Campbell University, or D, University of Memphis? And the answer is Miami. Very good. Thank you very much. That is right. So what does the H stand for? I'll just say that people always ask, is that why you only hire college students? No, we're all in the University of Stress-Free Service. That's our goal. What does the H stand for in the acronym HUNKS? Is the H for handsome, A, B, honest, C, humble, or D, hangry? Anyone? Honest. There we go. It's honest. The HUNKS acronym represents our values. The honest, the H is for we operate with transparency and integrity. Our teams are uniformed. They're coming out. They're professionally dressed. They've been background checked. Our teams are licensed. Our company is licensed. The team is insured. The K is nice is the N. We understand that moving is stressful. Our goal is to be compassionate, to be understanding. Even though we do this every day, day in and day out, our team treats your move or your client's move like it is their first time. So we walk beside them and understand the importance of being empathetic. K is for knowledgeable. We are technically trained and able to do the job and handle moving, junk removal, labor services, light demolition, all the really good, sexy things. It's such a fun thing to talk about, right? And the S is that we want to provide an excellent customer service experience. That is our goal, to do that. Question number 3, what is the most common item found on a junk removal service? Some of you have been to our shop and you know all the fun things that we see. So the choices for today for this question are A, a TV, B, a mattress, C, holiday decorations, or D, exercise equipment. Most commonly, item found. Now, Carrie Meyer is laughing because I bet you see all of these in your clients' houses when you're organizing, don't you? Absolutely. Okay, I'm not going to lie. We see all of these things very, very frequently. But the answer, I would say, is B, mattress. They're very difficult to get rid of, right? You can try to figure out how to get the other items to Goodwill or some other place. Mattresses are really difficult. We work with our nonprofit partners to donate as much as we can for the items that are in good condition. We work with Habitat Humanity, Habitat Restore. We work really closely with the Four Seasons Hospice. Homeward Bound, we see them almost on a weekly basis, save items for them because they're trying to get folks out of homelessness and get them secure housing. And then also with ABCCM, that's both of their crisis ministries and their Transformation Village, which is a shelter for women and children. So clap it up for yourselves. You guys did a great job. I'm gonna pass it off to you.
Thank you. Appreciate the brain break. I also appreciate it because I know all the answers, so I feel really accomplished today. So thank you, Ann. You guys, she's fantastic. One more round of applause. Ann, girl boss, College Hunks, Hauling, Junk, and Moving. And I definitely thought the H stood for handsome when I first met Ann, but I know better now. So I guess it's my turn. So again, I'm Kimmy McBurney with Allied Home Inspection. And again, so my talk came today from, I am by no means a professional in social media, other than using it for my business. You know, we've grown our social media account. We average probably at least 500,000 views a month. Millions, you know, up to, I think last year we did 20 million views in the year. So I like to think that I know what I'm talking about, but I definitely admit that I still have room to grow. And the example being, oh, sorry, and by the way, before I forget, do you have that mic? I invest in teaching myself things that I want to utilize for my business. And this is one that I definitely wanted to use. I also realized I follow a lot of realtors in Asheville. I probably follow every realtor in Asheville. And I feel like it's so underutilized and we all need to be doing this, right? Because at the drop of a hat, Instagram could be gone, Facebook could be gone, TikTok could be gone, your account could be gone. I feel like that's probably the most realistic, right? You guys have heard the horror story of somebody locked out of their social media account, right? Turn on your two-step verification. But we need to be converting these clients to email capture our database so that we have that and we're utilizing that. So again, we're going to be going into some email lead capture. So we're turning social media followers into clients because again, if you're only on my social media to watch our fun inspection videos, I welcome that. I appreciate that. But at the same time, if I'm not converting it into business, then what are we really here for? So, and you guys will all get these slides, so don't feel like you need to write all this down furiously. So email lead capture 101. What is email lead capture? You guys have all seen it. I'll show you some examples in a bit. But you're watching maybe stories, and the last story says, here's, click the link to give me your email so you get my free home buyer's guide. So here's the hooks, right? Thinking about buying, don't start without this checklist. Drop your email for the step-by-step guide. Need a market snapshot report? Click here. So it's all these kind of hooks. And again, I'll give you guys all these examples, but I really implore you when we get to the slide about creating your own to kind of sit for a minute. Think about your brand, think about your niche. So is it that you serve a particular community? Kristen Janes, a resident Black Mountain Realtor, right? So she may say, here are the top spots in Black Mountain, or whatever your niche may be. I'm gonna call her out, welcome her up here. But you guys all have it, right? Noble and Company, Shane, representing equine properties, horse properties, right? So you all have a niche. Or if you don't have a niche, we'll talk about some that are really popular from agents that I've interviewed that have experienced success with. So again, kind of setting the stage. Social media builds awareness, right? I think you're all aware that I own a home inspection company, or at least I hope so at this point. But again, unless I'm converting clients, unless you guys are converting people, right? Like everybody likes to look at the pretty houses, but if they're not actually reaching out to you to find a pretty house, then it's all for naught. So email lists is going to give you your direct access to your clients, and it is stronger than relying on the algorithms, right? We can do all we can to position ourselves with the algorithm, but really at the end of the day, we own our email list. So making sure we are creating those. So we're defining our goal, right? So we want new leads. We also want to nurture potential prospects for sellers. And then also, I like to use it to stay top of mind with past clients to earn referrals, right? If you are not top of mind, nobody wants to be the secret agent if they don't know about you. How many times have you kicked yourself when your neighbor's like, I just sold, not your neighbor, you'd know that. Your friend or your aunt or your uncle, like, I just sold my house. You're like, well, that's cool. Do you know what I do for a living? So here are some examples just to kind of set the stage again. So again, whenever I'm teaching a concept, I'm going to go to the expert, right? So Maddie actually, Ashley brought her up and we looked at her profile for a second. She does a really great job. I highly recommend following her. What was her handle again? Maddie Sells Asheville. She does a great job of doing email lead captures and some of the other things. And I say this with permission, right? I've interviewed her personally and Abby, and really in social media, I feel like some people get bogged down by, well, Maddie's in my market and she's already doing it. You guys have vastly different followings. I promise you that. There's nobody out there, there's no home buyer and is like, ooh, you stole that. If anything, it's building the credibility, right? We're gonna build each other up. And really, at the end of the day, if it is copied, it actually feeds the algorithm and is gonna boost her standing as well, right? So don't feel afraid to gain inspiration from a Maddie or an Abby, but I like to follow her. I think she's doing a really good job with lead capture. And then, so it's funny, I asked to interview her, come speak, but she's on vacation right now. But she was like, who else is doing a great job at it? Abby. So I did interview Abby. So like I said, this is hers. Some of her examples. So she's using these screens mostly at the end of stories, because I think we all also acknowledge the issue we have. Who's so annoyed when it's like link in bio? Even I have to say that because that's the only option we have, right? Instagram is not letting you link, right? They don't want you to take people away from their platform. So for example, when I share my events, I have to say link in bio. I don't have an option, but you do have an option in your stories. When you shared a story, you can absolutely link. So that's where you're going to see most of hers. again, so she does actually 4 different lead captures. So with her permission, I'm going to share the 4 lead captures she does, and I'm going to show you her most successful that I'm really, really going to recommend for you guys as realtors. So again, you'll get the pictures of these, but feel free to use these. And you'll see she uses Flowdesk, but I use MailChimp, and we'll kind of get to that in a second. But again, here are some examples of that kind of teaser for her different lead captures. So these are the 4 she did. So again, everyone does them different. I think Maddie's got a relocation guide, so a relocation guide to Asheville, and then maybe a home buyer checklist. But these are the 4 that Abby has tested just for you guys, right? She's already done the homework for you. She's got a free home buyer checklist. She's got an Asheville guide. Actually, hers isn't a local vendor list. She does another Asheville guide. And then here's the secret sauce for Abby that I gave you permission to share. Top 10 on-market properties. So in Abby's example, Abby is co-branded as a short-term rental host. She also does co-hosting for short-term rentals, and that's kind of her niche, right? She's looking for investors to buy and sell short-term rentals. So what she does at all times, keeps a curated Google sheet of the top 10 on-market properties that she would recommend, right? And what she does is that's her clickbait, for lack of a better term, right? So she's going to put together a story. Maybe she's going to tease some of those properties and say to her niche and her followers, hey, do you want to know the top 10 properties I'd recommend as a short-term rental right now? So for you guys, let's internalize this, right? So for example, Kristen, she serves Black Mountain. Top 10 properties in Black Mountain. Or I would really suggest you guys hone down. Any of you, I think probably one of the most clicked on things is you want to see top 10 properties in Asheville or the Asheville area, let's not say Asheville, under $400,000, $450,000, right? So if you don't have a niche, having something like that that's going to attract people, and then it's really easy, right? You go on the MLS, you do a property search. Really, you just need to present them 10 properties under $450,000, right? You guys can do that pretty quickly. And it doesn't have to be pretty, right? It can be a Google sheet, a view-only Google sheet that you're updating all the time. So the link stays the same, but you're attracting people to this. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're doing it in a way that captures their contact information, right? So you've got their email, and that's what you want. You want that initial contact. You want them to raise their hand. Now you know they're looking at properties, right? So mission accomplished, we now have engaged with the client. So again, these are just some examples. Abby utilizes 4. She rotates 4 consistently. But for you guys, I would say starting with 1, at least having the generic email capture, and then you can kind of refine from there. Any questions on any of these so far? Ashley, wait, do me a favor. You can run my water. one for one on the water delivery. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm going to show you guys some examples, and we can click around in a second and do some live. So this is going to be your friend. So I feel like when I do this, I like to kind of go step by step and show you actually how we can execute. So I'm going to try and put the microphone on here. So I did this the other day, and I was just kind of going through an example. So I have ChatGPT, my buddy over there, and I went to ChatGPT, and I said, make a 10-step buyer's relocation guide for moving to Asheville, North Carolina. In seconds, it spit out a 10. Obviously, we're real estate professionals. We need to verify the information, make sure it's correct, make sure we're not violating any fair housing rules. But I really appreciated it. It started out with researching the neighborhoods, right? We can point out all the different neighborhoods that Asheville has to offer, all of the outlying areas, understanding the cost of living, hiring a local real estate agent. I would make a joke there about you already have or you've already found them, so congratulations. We can move on to step number 4. We're going to get pre-approved. Yeah, you might want to do that first, but they've come for our expert guidance, so we're going to direct them over to Atlantic Bay to get their pre-approval. Schedule a home inspection with Allied Home Inspection, right? So again, these I feel like, even me personally, I got bogged down in like making the cutest, nichey little Canva thing and making the most thorough, well thought out. Really, you guys, at the end of the day, done is better than perfect. ChatGPT spit this out in a matter of seconds. Then you can copy and paste. Hey, guess what? It also offered to make a branded relocation handout guide for me. Wasn't super impressed, but again, you can go straight over to Canva, import that material. Like I said, you're not even showing somebody this before they've entered for the lead capture, right? So it's the art of creating the hook, right? Enticing people, providing some sort of value, which you do plan to deliver on, right? Do you want to see the top 10 homes under $450,000 in the Western North Carolina area? Great, I'll give them to you. And then really, what is that? You're opening a conversation, right? So don't get bogged down in the actual deliverable. We just need to make sure we are creating a valuable hook and enticing people to work with us. So let's go back. Yep. Okay, so like I said, Canva and ChatGPT will be your friend. I already showed you guys the conversation. So from there, it gets a little more complicated because most of you probably use a different platform, but you're gonna need to set up an email capture form. I use MailChimp, but is everyone using some version of a MailChimp, your CRM, everything? Okay, I guarantee you, if you're not using your CRM, let's back up, we're gonna start there, we're gonna get a CRM. But like I said, even as simple as MailChimp or Constant Contact, something that's gathering information, right? You need to have your database housed somewhere besides your Excel spreadsheet. So they're going to have an email capture form. So I went into MailChimp, I went to my audience. In the audience, then you can from there create input forms, which I'll show you guys mine in a little bit. So making your email capture form, and then this is kind of the final step, building a landing page, right? So this is also done in the platform. Ashley, will you do me one more favor? Give me my phone. I'm gonna try and navigate in there because I think it'd be really valuable and kind of show you how I did mine. You guys get to see all my dirty laundry in my MailChimp. So creating a landing page. And it's going to do two-factor authentication. Maybe not. Okay, so this is my MailChimp. So we're going to go to audience. More options. Where did it go? Audience dashboard. Sign up forms. So that's where it was for me. So I'm going to go to sign up forms. And again, everyone should have one. So I created an agent's landing page because again, I was also not utilizing this tool. So you're going to go through the settings and then you can edit a design. So a lot of them are just going to have form-filled ones that you can use. So again, this is the one I created. Really simple, right? Done is better than perfect, but everyone's CRM should have this function of lead capture. And then what's nice is you can build out campaigns, follow-up campaigns. So at minimum, automate everything you can. So for example, mine, I just have it set up because it's really kind of generic. Like if you want to stay up to date with all the things Allied is doing, it sends you a welcome email, right? I'm automatically going to respond and say, thank you so much for signing up. We'll be in touch. But if you guys are utilizing a deliverable, so if we're going to go with that Google spreadsheet, view only, right? It's going to be something that you maintain. Or maybe you have a Google Doc that you're going to direct them to, or even Canva. Canva, you can have like a web link for your Canva designs that are view only, right? You want it to be automated so when they sign up for that email in your CRM, you can tag it so that it's automatically going to respond and give them that deliverable, right? The less manual work you have to do, the more successful. But I did want to touch, if someone's like, I don't have a CRM, that's overwhelming. The one manual hack that I would kind of do right now is have them DM you, or they can comment a particular word. That would require you to monitor those. There's also things like ManyChat. So most of the people who are saying comment something have implemented ManyChat, which is going to automate and send it to you. But at minimum, I've done it before, like comment a certain word and then I just monitor it and I respond to them, especially if we're not working at a high volume yet. So at minimum, you can do some manual lead capture, but really having some way to automate it, I think is really powerful. And it's as easy as we just kind of went through right there. So then we've created our landing page. And this is another one of Abby's. So this was probably for her Asheville guide. And again, it's just as simple as gathering an email address. And she also has an option to opt in for her monthly newsletter. I think that's really powerful. Again, monthly newsletters, I think, are really valuable because at minimum, you're staying top of mind and it's a really easy touch. Is somebody reading the whole thing? Probably not, but that's not the point. So making sure you're doing that. So again, so how are we utilizing this? Promoting it on social media. So sharing it on Instagram in your reels and stories is incredibly valuable. I was talking, I think all of us, if we're doing any content, one, you should always be resharing to your stories, and then you want the last story, so the last slide of the story, to always be that hook, right? So if you're sharing a property, you've shared multiple stories of the property and you're like, this is so awesome. And hey, if you're thinking about relocating to Asheville and you want my guide, click here. If you want my updates in my monthly newsletter, click here. If if you're showcasing a property in a particular price range, do you want to see 10 other properties in this price range, right? You need to make sure you customize your sheets to accommodate that. But I think it can be really valuable, and someone's going to be like, of course I want to see 10 other properties exactly like this because it's what I'm looking for. So I did put on there making sure you're posting it on all the platforms, right? So where I'm speaking to Instagram specifically, but making sure it's reposting to Facebook. Making sure you have a link in your bio. Again, we're trying to get away from the link in bio, but we want to make sure it's there so that people can find us. And using compelling call to action. So like I said, using that email capture, put your email in if you want my list, if you want whatever the lead capture, lead magnet is, making sure we're using those almost every time we're posting. And like I said, I personally am not doing it enough, but that's why I'm teaching on it, so I can teach myself how to do it. So again, coming back to this full circle. So again, so she's got her guide to Asheville, her monthly newsletter, and then the last one, which is most powerful for all of us, it's ready to begin your search in Asheville. Again, she is more so niche down for investors. But again, these things you guys can easily copy and implement yourself. So step number 6, I kind of already went over it, but automating your delivery, right? I think it's easiest if you have something that's not changing, like an Asheville relocation guide or a moving guide or something like that. For more so generic clients, but I think the most powerful and enticing lead for you guys is going to be that here are on-market properties right now, right? It would be really simple for you guys to time block, do that on a Monday, get the top 10 properties in whatever niche you have, and be marketing that, because I feel like people get desensitized to relocation guides and whatnot, but if you have something that's current and enticing, I think it'd be really powerful. And then step number 7, we're going to utilize that list, right? So making sure we're doing market updates. I know, for example, I was with Cody yesterday, and lenders will kindly give you guys some verbiage, right? If you don't feel like you're the market expert and you want verbiage for your monthly newsletters or market updates, please get with Cody and Rachel. They always have templates for you guys if you want something to put in an email. That way you can rely on professional information. But doing market updates, buyer seller tips, community events, anything you guys can do to customize your marketing material and making sure it's up to date, I feel like it's going to be the most enticing, especially if it's current listings, because everyone always thinks they're missing out on listings and stuff. So here's ours. So I feel like if most of you are here, you are on my email list. But if you want to scan this just to see what it looks like, or put your email in there, I won't judge. I would love to have you guys stay up to date on our events and offerings. I promise I won't spam you too much, but yeah, so that's the one I have for now, but I definitely am interested in kind of expanding this into different avenues. All right, before we have another brain break, any questions on the thrilling world of email lead capture? Anybody doing email lead capture on social media right now? Hey, I like it. Cool. Any tips or tricks, Shane? Anything that you found more successful or more enticing?
I sort of cheat. I have somebody.
Hey, no shame in that. So she said she cheats and she pays someone to do it for her. Full disclosure, Abby also pays somebody, but she was really helpful because she set up all the processes and procedures. She does have a social media manager that puts together the slides for her. But again, done is better than perfect. We have some awesome social media professionals that would love to help you with that. Who else? Did you say you're doing email lead capture? So same thing, right? What do you use for a CRM? Flotus. We keep seeing Flotus. Flotus is popular. But yeah, like I said, I guarantee any CRM you use can be edited. Actually, when Ashley worked for me long ago, she had it so customized that it was per event, right? The QR code imported with a tag for that event. So if I chose, I could follow up with just those people. So really powerful. Your data matters. So, yeah, before we move on, so again, I'm available for questions if you guys ever want to network or talk or chat, or I'm happy to see if I can help you work through the steps of it. I appreciate all y'all's time. And we're gonna go for one more brain break before our last and final chat with Dave. Matthew, College Hunks.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jerry, the microphone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello. I am Matthew. It was a pleasure making your acquaintance as you arrived today. Just to remind you, I am a move consultant with College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving of Asheville. I would love to be a trusted partner to answer your questions, provide you convenient estimates, and really just help you with anything that we can do to make the move more stress-free for your clientele and offload something that comes across your desk. Before we kind of get into the trivia, just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the Asheville area for about 20 years, so know the area very well, and have a 7-week-old daughter. So, all right, who is ready for some more exciting College Hunks trivia? That's what I like to hear. This first one's going to require a little bit of engagement. Raise a hand if you have moved more than 3 times in your lifetime. Awesome. Keep it up if you have moved more than 8 times in your life. How many times does the average American move in their lifetime? A, 3 times, B, 11 times, C, 6 times, or D, 15 times? The answer is B, 11 times. I am far above that, by the way. Question 5. The average household move in the U.S. contains how many pounds of belongings? A, 1,000 pounds, B, 6,500 pounds, C, 8,000 pounds, or D, 12,000 pounds? B, 6,500 pounds. People tend to forget how much they have. We provide local and long-distance moves for residential clients from a 1-bedroom apartment all the way up to a large estate, as well as commercial clientele. Question 6, what is the most common forgotten task in preparation for a move? Is it A, not packing boxes, B, defrosting their refrigerators, C, making arrangements for their pets, or D, clearing items from the tops of furniture? B, you might find that it is common to not pack boxes as well, and that's why we offer labor and packing services. Finally, true or false, College Hunks Hauling Junk of Asheville can provide moving, junk removal, labor, packing, loading, and unloading services to both residential and commercial clients. True, exactly. If you guys have questions or you would like a free estimate, feel free to grab a card, and I am happy to help you with any needs that you may have. Kimmy, thanks again for organizing such a wonderful event.
Get the mic back. Thank you. And I want to add one tidbit. We had moved. They went on Zillow, counted the TVs in the house. Like their detail estimate was so detailed to provide the option of TV boxes and yada yada. I was like, she is on Zillow counting the TVs in the house. Really impressive. So really thorough. Thank you, College Hunks, for coming. So without further ado, our grand finale. So Dave, I've met Dave long ago, but he gave me the sage business advice of, Kimmy, how do you get your clients or how do you make relationships? And I say, well, on some Thursdays, I get to talk to 60 some odd awesome real estate agents. But great, how do we 10X that, right? How do we make that presence known? And it's through video. And I like what we're talking about today. So it's not only video, right? We're doing the video, we're doing the things, but we need to 10X it if we want to put some money behind it and run some ads and really increase our reach. He's going to teach us how to do that. So again, Dave with Asheville Video Marketing. Woo-hoo!
Thank you, Kimmy. Yep, I think so. Right, we just press the button. Okay, hey, I'm Dave, Asheville Video Marketing. I hope you were all paying attention during Ashley's presentation because she goes way more into depth on the technical side of how to create content and stuff like that, which is great because now I don't have to do that. So we're going to talk about, well, actually first, a little disclaimer, this is actually not the simplest Instagram funnel for realtors that you're going to see today. I lied. The simplest funnel is the one that most of you are probably already using, and that's the one where you just post random stuff and hope that something happens. I'm going to show you the simplest Instagram funnel that actually works to grow your audience and help you start actually getting leads through Instagram. And this is the first part of our Go-To Local Services program, where we help local services become the go-to choice among their ideal customers here in Asheville. To become the go-to choice among your customers, you need to become known to them. And so what I'm going to show you today is how to become the best known realtor here in Asheville using Instagram, using content and ads. And so if you are somebody who likes to have excuses for why they can't do something or why something doesn't work for you, you should cover your ears, because I'm going to show you exactly how this works. By the end of it, you're not going to have any more of those excuses, okay? All right. So if you are an agent, you're like most agents, you mess around on social media, Facebook, you post content on Instagram, but most of your business probably comes from referrals and word of mouth. You're dependent on referrals and word of mouth. And that's great. It's great to get referrals, but it creates a lot of anxiety not knowing when or where a new lead is going to come from. And why are you still dependent on referrals? You do great work. You've been doing this for a while. You have lots of happy customers. People should be banging down the door to work with you. And the reason why is because nobody knows who you are. I mean, you have friends and family, you have a sphere of influence, but obviously it's not enough to keep your pipeline full. And it's not because you're trying to be a secret agent, you're putting yourself out there. But if I were to go to downtown Asheville and ask 10 random people to name me one real estate agent here in Asheville, most likely they're not going to name you. They're probably not going to be able to name anybody unless it's somebody that they've worked with in the past. But that's good. That's an opportunity for us, because if I were to go ask 10 random people and 7, 8 of them gave me the same name, what would you assume about that person? They probably do really great business, or they were recently convicted of a horrible crime. But probably they do really good business. And it's not because they're better than you. They're not a better agent than you, this fictitious person. It's just because they're better known, right? In marketing and in business, the best known beats the best. And so that's what we're going to figure out today, is how to turn you from this into this. Okay? If you implement this correctly, if you put in the effort and if you put in the money, because let's be real, it is going to cost you money to run ads. It's not going to cost you a fortune. If you do this correctly, you're not going to be able to go out to eat. You're not going to be able to walk down the street without people recognizing you. And that level of recognition is going to make attracting, people who want to work with you so much easier. Okay? And that's really just what I want to hammer in to you right now, is just the importance of using social media and paid ads to become really well known, and how much that's going to unlock things for you. Whether you're running, email capture ads, or posting on social media, or doing any other kind of advertising, having a lot of name rec and being better known is just going to make everything easier for you, okay? So let's get into it. All right, this is the best known business strategy. I'm going to hang out over here now so you can see. There's 3 steps to this. The first step is just to run a simple ad. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it and how to run it. The whole purpose of it is just to get in front of as many people as we can, become really well known, and start generating followers. The second part of this is we're going to use trust, or we're going to build trust and authority with content. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what kind of content to make. And then we're going to be generating leads in DMs. But before we can do any of that, and I'm just going to touch on this, the first thing we got to do is optimize our profile on Instagram. because the purpose of an ad really is just to get people to go to your profile. Once they get to the profile needs to do the work of actually, enticing them to follow you and start consuming your content, all that kind of stuff. So step 0 is just to optimize your profile. And maybe you've seen stuff like this before. It's pretty simple. You want to make sure that your username is clear on what you do, that you have a nice clean headshot that's close up, that your name field makes it really clear what you do, that your bio, that you use these 3 lines to, that you don't waste them. Your first line is just going to tell people what you do, and it's got to be really clear. Okay, we don't want to write something like, I help make people's dreams come true, because, I'm going to be really disappointed when I find out that you're not a genie. The second line, you just want to add some social proof, so 55-star reviews or thousands of local folks served or whatever. And then the third line is just a call to action. And we always want the call to action to be to DM you. We want to keep everything on the platform. It makes things easier for you and makes things easier for them. You can add links if you want, but I'll just tell you that links take people off the profile, off the platform, and they tend to get people lost, right? Stories, we want to make sure that we're always posting stories, that we're staying active with that. Highlights, you want to have collections of stories that when people land on your page, they can quickly find out what you do, they can see testimonials and all that kind of stuff. And then your pinned posts, you want 3 pinned posts at the top of your profile. The first one's going to be this ad that we're going to run. The second one, or the other 2, one of them, we want to have an interview with one of your customers, or testimonial, something like that. And then we want to have a reel that provides a call to action. Something simple. If you are looking to buy or sell in the area, send me a DM. All right. So step 1, visibility ad. This is the ad that we run. There's all kinds of ads that you can run, but starting with this to gain and build your brand awareness is going to make any other kind of ad that you ever run perform so much better and cost you a lot less money. This is a 60-second or under 60-second reel. All it's supposed to do is introduce you to the community. All right, it's not complicated. We don't need to get clever with this. It's just, hey, what's up? Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Follow me on Instagram. And really the secret sauce is that it's local. Everything about this ad has to be local. That's the hook, right? When it starts and you're like, hey, Asheville homeowners, or hey, Black Mountain homeowners, people in Weaverville and the surrounding areas, whatever, and it's got to be shot in the local area. So no shooting in front of a blank wall. We want to get out into the community and use recognizable locations in the shots, because when people are scrolling and this pops up, it's just going to catch their eye when they see recognizable places and things. And then finally, the call to action for this ad is just to follow me. It's not to DM me to work with me. It's not to get my guide or anything like that. This is not salesy at all. We're just introducing ourselves and saying, hey, if you want to learn more about whatever, follow me. Okay, and you can see in some of these examples, we use captions and faces. Obviously, hopefully it goes without saying that you need to be in this, okay? You need to be on camera talking. That's the biggest thing, okay? And we call out the local area and all that kind of stuff. We want the first thing that people see to be, where you're targeting, make it really recognizable. Filming tips. Hopefully, again, you were paying attention during Ashley's talk, but we want to use a tripod and a wireless mic. Each line that we film for this, and in your handouts, we have a script template for you that we'll go over. But each line of your script, ideally, you want to film in a different recognizable spot, okay? And for efficiency, you can do each take of your line on a different clip, because and I'm just going to show you, basic editing and Instagram just makes it a lot easier for you to stay organized and put things together. You want to shoot in 4K so you can crop in, and so you don't have to worry too much about getting the perfect shot, especially if you're doing this by yourself. And then just shoot a little bit wider than you think you need to for the same reason. And then ideally, ask a friend to help you. They can hold the camera for you. They can direct you a little bit. They can add some motion to it and just make your shots a little more dynamic. Editing tips. So, this is just to do it within the app, which is the simplest way. I know we all probably have our preferred editing apps, and you should definitely use whatever you like. But just from a basic standpoint, you're going to go into Instagram, you're going to create a reel, load the clips in the order that they're going to be, press the edit button, trim the beginning and end of each line, and your reel should be pretty much put together. You're going to make sure that you use captions burned in. It's really important when people are scrolling that not only do they see the recognizable spot, but they see your local call out. You just want to add all this kind of stuff that really hooks people in. When you're posting anything on Instagram that you're going to run as an ad or that you hope to run as an ad, you got to use royalty-free music. Don't use any popular music because it won't be allowed to be run as an ad. Same goes for, and this is like a gray area, but I avoid using stickers, GIFs, filters, anything that somebody else created that could potentially either now or in the future get flagged and force me not to take the ad down.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Where do you find royalty free? Like, how do you make sure it's
Oh, so in Instagram, when you create a reel, there's a tab for royalty-free music, so that you don't have to go looking for it. Yeah. There's a tab for it. It's just music that's already cleared. It's already allowed to be used for advertising and stuff like that. Editing apps, there's all kinds. Obviously, use the one that you like. I've used all these. They work fine. I haven't used Instagram's new edit apps, but I'm sure that that's good too. Just use whatever makes things the easiest for you. This isn't complicated. Don't overcomplicate this video. Okay? So you have the visibility ad kind of checklist there in front of you. I have an ad script template, caption template. These are just templates. Make it your own. The only important things that you absolutely need to have in this script is in the first line, you need to call out who the video is for, who your local service area is, and then you want to make sure that the last piece is to follow you, that's the call to action. Okay, so are you a homeowner in West Asheville and the surrounding areas? Very simple. And you want to sell your house, but you're worried about, getting a good price right now or whatever, because everything's crazy. You just need the right strategy so you can sell your house for top dollar and move into your home of your dreams next, whatever. I'm Dave, and I help homeowners in West Asheville and the surrounding areas sell their homes and not leave any money on the table. If you're thinking of selling your house and you want tips, follow my account here on Instagram. That's the basic template. You make it your own. The idea is just local call out, introduce the problem, how you solve that problem, who you are, and then tell them to follow you in order to see how you do it. Instagram caption, same idea. I'm not going to go over that, but you're basically restating it and then you're listing a couple problems. The checklist, just make sure you have that stuff. Shot list, think of some locations that are recognizable, but also maybe fit you the best. And then the editing stuff we went over, okay? So now when you actually want to post this reel and run it as an ad, here's what you gotta do. First, you post it to your account as an organic reel, okay? And you're just gonna give it 24 hours to gain totally organic engagement. Don't tell anybody to like it, don't do anything, just let it go and see what happens. After that 24 hours, you're gonna start sending it to friends, family, anybody that you can, and just ask them to like it, start commenting on it. Because when you run it as an ad, one of the hooks of a successful ad is the amount of engagement that it has. So you wanna let it get some organic engagement before you run it, because when it comes up on people's feed, subconsciously just seeing that other people have liked it and engaged with it already gives it that little bit of social proof that serves as a hook and helps people decide to hang with it. Okay, so when you want to actually go and set up and launch the ad, you're gonna use this QR code, because I'm not gonna go through it right now, but I put together a step-by-step tutorial, shows you exactly how to do this in Business Manager. You don't need to use Ads Manager, which is like the kind of fancy way to run ads, and is something that we teach you eventually. But this kind of ad is totally fine to just run in Business Manager, and it's super simple. There's just a few things that you absolutely need to make sure that you do. and that's what this goes over. And then, some of your metrics that you want to follow is your target cost per follow. You want to keep that under $2. And, for ads like this, most of the time, you're going to be getting followers for much less. So setting up the ad campaigns, just some things you need to know. You got to make sure that your Instagram account is a business account, all right, or a professional account. Use Meta Business Manager on desktop, all right? A lot of you're probably familiar with boosting posts. You do it right from your phone. Especially if you have an Apple phone, you don't want to do that because they're going to charge a fee on top of your ad spend, and right off the bat, you're just losing money. So make sure that you log in on a computer, Meta Business Manager to do this. And then, you go to the Business Manager, create ad tab, boost Instagram content, and that the QR code will take it from there. You want to make sure that you select that your ad is going to be in a special ad category, okay? For real estate, anything related to it, especially if you're an agent and you're running an ad related to real estate in any way, you gotta click that special ad category. Otherwise, your ad is going to get pulled down. Luckily for this kind of ad, it doesn't really matter. What that does when you click it is it just limits the amount of targeting that you can do, so that you can avoid violating fair housing laws and stuff like that. For this, we're just using broad targeting. All you're going to do is say, put this ad in front of every single person that you can in the local service area that you select. All right, so you're going to do all that. You're going to publish the ad, and then it's going to run for a little while, and here's how you know whether or not it's working. You're going to go to the original reel that you posted on Instagram, click your insights, and there's going to be a little tab that says ads. There's going to be one that says reels and one that says ads. When you click the ads one, it's going to give you some metrics there. Your cost per profile visit should be under $1. That's going to be a metric that it just shows you. Your cost per follow is something that you're going to have to figure out by dividing the amount of money that you spent by how many follows you've generated from that ad. Now for budget and scaling, how much should you actually spend on this? Well, all we're doing is saying, put this ad in front of as many people as possible. So obviously the more money you spend, the more people you're going to get in front of. So it's totally up to you. How many, when you know how much does it cost you to get a new follower, how much does it cost you to get in front of X amount of people, you can decide how many followers do you want, how many people do you want to get in front of, and just base your budget off that. The only thing I'll say is when you decide to scale this, if you want to start spending more money, just do it incrementally by less than $10 a day. For whatever reason, if you make huge increases in your budget, your ad will it'll take a while for it to get working again. I don't know why. But it just is what it is. So that's basically how you create and set up this ad. And once you start running this, you'll notice that you're getting in front of a lot of people and you're getting a lot of followers. And then the next thing that we want to do is figure out how we're going to convert these followers into potential clients and leads and all that kind of stuff. So the second step is trust and authority content. I'm not going to go super in depth into this. I'm sure you all kind of have a really good idea of what kind of content that you should be posting. But some guidelines that I'll give you are you want to do 90% trust and authority content, 10% salesy, DM me to work together or whatever. You want to make it reels heavy if you can. The more that you're on camera and in front of people, the more trust that you can build, the more people get to know you. Use Business Manager to schedule content. If you want to be posting all the time, you can use Business Manager. There's a lot of third-party paid apps too that you can use to schedule content. You don't have to post every day either. Your primary strategy here, we're running this ad that's getting people into our funnel, that's introducing you to people. They're coming to your profile and they're going to see kind of what you already have set up. And then the next thing we're going to do is DM them and start building a relationship. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. As far as content ideas go, the highest leverage pieces of content that you can really do are client interviews or testimonials, talking to your clients, just get with them, stand right next to them. Hey, this is so-and-so, we worked together to do this. Tell me about how it went. And then just let them go off for 30 seconds to a minute, whatever. Stuff like that works really great. And then, all this other kind of stuff is really great too. So, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, 2.5 is the stories. You got to post stories. You got to stay active on your stories. Post daily if you can. Behind the scenes content works great to show what's going on in your personal and professional life. Adding social proof, more of those client interviews, all that kind of stuff. Just keep posting stories. Helps you, look alive. It helps you connect because a lot of people use stories more than their feeds these days, and it's a great way to organically get in front of people and stay in front of them. Again, 90-10 rule, same thing with that. Most of the stuff you post should just be, sharing information, letting people in, helping them get to know you, not asking for anything in return. And then, one of the higher leverage things that you can do on stories is use interactive features like polls and quizzes. I have generated a lot of leads just by doing this. You post a poll, ask them a question that, only someone who is a potential customer for you is going to answer in a certain way. And then when they do, you see who answered it, and you just send them a DM and you ask them, hey, why'd you answer it that way, or whatever. But you would have already had some kind of relationship with this person before they posted that, because you're going to do what we're talking about now in step 3, and that's start converting people who follow you in DMs. This is the one thing that is such a game changer on Instagram for you, and very few businesses actually do this. They don't reach out to people who follow them with DMs, right? We all post content and we wait for something to happen. We hope people are going to reach out to us. But if the second somebody follows you, you reach out to them, introduce yourself, ask them why they followed you and start building a relationship, that's going to go so much further for you in being able to use your Instagram to actually generate leads. So every new follower is an opportunity to gain a client now or in the future when they're ready to buy or sell, or for them to give you a referral. So you message your new followers ASAP. As soon as you notice it, don't play it cool. Just immediately get in touch with them. You got to follow up, because most people, unfortunately, you're going to reach out to them and they're just not going to respond. Probably because they have other things to do right now. And so you just want to keep following up. One thing you can do, a little trick, is the send unsend method, right? You don't want to constantly be sending messages to someone and then they check it and you look like a psychopath, with 20 messages. Hey, how are you? How's it going? Nice to meet you. What you can do in Instagram is just, you hold down the message that you sent them and you can unsend it and then just send another message, and they won't remember. They don't know what's going on. Okay. Another roadblock you'll run into is a lot of people who follow you have private profiles and there's no button that says message me. And so you feel like, oh, I guess I'll just wait for them to reach out to me. In the top right corner of their profile, the 3 dots, you click that and there should be an option to send a message. So that's how you do that. And you want to message those people too. And don't get discouraged, because again, a lot of people aren't going to message you back right away. And there are going to be some people who follow you who are creepy weirdos. And a lot of people who follow you are probably going to be other agents, other people involved in real estate. So, that might discourage you a little bit, but it's an opportunity to build a relationship for potential referrals and all that kind of stuff. It does take a little work messaging people and maintaining conversations. So back to the question of budget, if you're getting 10, 20 followers a day, something like that, you just have to remember that that's 10, 20 conversations that you're starting that you might have to manage on top of the 10 or 20 that you did yesterday. And so just keep things manageable for yourself, and it's okay for this to grow and build over time. So the tips: don't overcomplicate your opening message. You can see in the example here, we don't waste a lot of time building rapport, do anything like that. You just reach out and you ask them, hey, thanks for following me. Are you just here to check out the content, or are you interested in whatever, buying or selling right now? Because that way, whatever their answer is, helps you, move forward in a more definite kind of direction. If they say, hey, yeah, I saw your ad, and yes, I'm interested, whatever, that's great. If they say, oh, I'm just following for the content, okay, cool. How do you think this content is going to help you with whatever is going on right now? And you can open it up that way. And then, you just try not to be salesy. You try to be a normal person, have a conversation, find out what they're dealing with right now, and just ask if you can help. And then try to keep everything in the DMs. Don't send off people on links if they want to schedule with you. You can send them a Calendly, but then it's like you're waiting for them to actually do it. You can just schedule everything manual. Give them 2 or 3 times. Hey, let's meet on this day or that day at this time. Does that work for you? These are kind of like the little things that you can do to actually like get this done. Okay. And so the next level, once you have this up and running and you're generating a lot of followers and having conversations going, things hopefully are gonna get unmanageable for you in a good way, where you have too much to do. So what we can use to make things a little bit easier are things like remarketing ads, rather than trying to stay in front of people actively in DMs and posting content. You can just set it up so that the content that you already have is following people around all the time. Same with lead gen ads. We can expand to Facebook and start trying to follow people around there and start dominating that platform. You can add VSLs and lead magnets and things to send people. Start doing omnipresent advertising on YouTube and streaming, just to like keep that best known business in Asheville kind of thing going, so that you're basically inescapable to people. And then something you definitely want to talk about with Julia over at Dynamic is using virtual assistants to make your life easier, as far as reaching out to people who through DMs, through keeping your leads organized and all that kind of stuff. So that's my presentation. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful to you. Reach out to me on Instagram if you need help with any part of this. I'm happy to make anything clear that I didn't hear. And I hope that all of you will take advantage of this, and somehow all of you will become the best known realtor here in Asheville. Okay? Okay. Oh, all right. Does anyone have any questions?
Maybe speak to that. Like, I feel like some people have the fear of like, if we all do this, then we're all going to spam everybody. And is it available to everybody? And what do you say to clients who are advertising in the same market?
Well, so really the goal is, like I said, if I go and ask 10 random people to name a real estate agent, you want to be somebody that at least comes up for a few people. Is it realistic to be the best known? Yeah, I guess so, when you put it in terms of who knows the most people, but it's not something like there's like a pie that like only it's all going to be gone if we all do this. I think it's more about becoming the best known, becoming more recognized, and that's something you're either going to do or you're not going to do. If you don't do it because somebody else is going to do it, well, then you still didn't do it, and nothing has changed for you. So it's definitely worth doing, and I think you should do it. That's just me. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Any
Kimmy.
other questions? Yes.
I was just curious how much you think it's related or tied into the firm that you work for as well, like how much they put into it.
So I think the question is there any relation to the firm you work with? Like, does it correlate? Yeah. What firm are you with?
Love, land, and home.
Oh, okay. Well, I love it. Unique boutique brokerage. But so, for example, like if you're with the Keller Williams, do you feel like that correlates in any way? I guess, is that what your question? Yeah.
Are you saying like, are you saying if the firm that you're with, the level of recognition that they have? Well, obviously that helps you if you're with a recognizable name, because people will associate you with however they think about that brand. But I'm not sure to the average person how much that really matters. Like if you're with something that people generally know, maybe that gives you, transfers some trust to you. But really, for a real estate agent or anyone who's like a single person business and you're the face of the brand, you want to kind of, utilize the tools and the help that you get from your brokerage, but it's really all about you, and you want to put yourself forward and really build your personal brand, because I'm sure you're all happy with wherever you are right now, and you'll never leave, but that could happen, and so you don't want to depend on the brand that you're with to kind of move you forward. So.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And something that came to mind when he said that is, going back to his script, you have a few seconds please do not open your video by, hey, I just want to pop on for a second to tell you, nope, gone, right? You're getting direct to the message, and I feel like if you're out of your brokerage, you're kind of just watering down the message. So you're just getting to the point, you're speaking to the client. But yeah, so by all means, if you're with a brand, I always encourage people to use it as hashtags or leverage the marketing that the brand is already doing. So, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. I know most of us professionals will gladly hang out if you guys have any questions. First and foremost, thank you all so much for dedicating your time. What I'm going to implore you guys to do, we're going to time block. This is a lot to digest. Please make sure you get the handouts. Each of us vendors put a step-by-step guide, right? Pick one thing to do, right? Focus on your lead capture or focus on your ad. Get yourself a video to promote yourself. Time block. Thank you to College Hunks. If you honor system, if you answered B to all of their trivia questions, apparently it was a trick, you can see Anne for your treat, so please visit her. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Please, you guys, there are so many pastries. There are to-go boxes at the end of the counter near the plant. Please take some. Please take a quiche for the road, a piece of fruit, some healthy carbohydrates. Anyways, thank you guys again. Thank you, Atlantic Bay. Have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you all.